born again. Born again to live.
Hey everybody, welcome back. It's another great day here on Born Again to Live. It is a Tuesday. It's not quite a Blues Day Tuesday, but in a way, Eric, every day is a Blues Day Tuesday, right?
Yeah, we're recording in Big Blue, so it's a Blues Day Tuesday.
That's it. And you're wearing your Big Blue t-shirt, and I'm wearing Rob's The Way Ministries t-shirt. So we are just on brand and on point and just ready to get this podcast rolling. But yeah, like we felt like we wanted to take some time to just sort of recap the youth rally with Seth Addison. How about that interview yesterday?
Yeah, I was blown away. I got to edit it and listen to it again. Yeah, it's just as good.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got some powerful thoughts, and he fit right in with our Born Again to Live philosophy of it's not a religion, it's a relationship.
Yeah, he sure does. And, we've invited him back to hang out with the kids, and maybe someday when he wants to get a break from the city life and come back into the country, it'd be awesome to see him again.
Yep. I hope so. Anyway, I emailed him and texted him the information of the podcast and stuff, so he should be listening. So,
all right. Well, just, in wrapping up the rally, I want to say that the mat burns that I got on my elbow from the bounce houses are finally healing. It's been about a week now, week and a day or so, but looking pretty good. 2-time champion. So my record is what? 0-2 for the, or is it 2-0?
2-0.
2-0. Okay. I am 2-0 for the Extreme Challenge. I'm not going to say who I beat, but these people know who they are.
I only went through once, but yeah, I thought I was going to have a heart attack rolling down the last hill, so we're good.
I thought I was going to have a heart attack when I realized I lost my car keys in the bouncy house. Because it wasn't just your average bouncy house. This thing had obstacles. It had like things you had to climb over, slide down. It was crazy. But no, certainly the highlight of the youth rally was the worship.
Yeah. We started the evening with two young guys, both 16 years old, playing and singing, and I thought they did amazing. The guy singing was awesome. His little country twang voice, he rocked it.
Yeah, he did. Do you have the names of them offhand?
Yeah, it was Jacob Roball and Ian Pickett.
Okay.
Ian's actually, his dad's a pastor in Moorfield, and Jacob's dad is the resource officer at one of the high schools.
Okay.
One of the schools, I don't know which. So.
Yeah, they were awesome. And I loved every time he got up to just introduce a song, he just would talk about how he loved, I love playing this one at church, or I love playing this one with my friends, or you could just tell he was so full of a worshipful heart.
Yeah, he did. And he did a wonderful job of just getting the message of what we were there for started.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then on came the DeLauders, and woo, Eric, I tell you what, Faith DeLauder, she has got some pipes. Oh my gosh. I mean, when she just I think you talked about this a couple episodes ago, but like she started with My Jesus. That was her opening, and that just got the night going for me.
Yeah, I think my highlight of that was that ended up we forgot the key to open the green room for Seth to go into the green room and enjoy his time to get warmed up and all that stuff. And so the only way to the green room was through the back of the stage. Well, Seth stayed out there for those two boys the entire time and enjoyed it and worshiped with them and was like all over it.
Yeah.
And then he's like, Eric, is that the only door we have to get to the green room? I said, yes, it is. And he goes, I really want to hear these guys, but I don't want to interrupt their show in the middle and leave. So I'm going to have to go before their show to the green room. Mm-hmm. So he wasn't going to get to watch Faith and her dad and mom.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I saw him leave and they started, and it wasn't like it was into the first verse of the song. I literally see his arm and phone poke out from the door, and he's recording Faith.
Yeah.
And later he told her that he recorded it, sent it to his manager because he thinks she should be singing big time, and then asked her to be on a couple of his songs that he's got coming up on an album. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, he was fairly impressed with her pipes.
So cool. It's so cool how God just brings this all together. And yeah, and I love how he just would say how he just feels like one of the family. Like this is just a big old family gathering. And so we had a lot of teens come out. It was a great night. but yeah, we wanted to, I told Eric I've been thinking a lot about it since it was over last Saturday. And one of the things that sort of struck me is how, throughout the night, and even so Seth came back and performed at the Assembly of God here in Wardensville. So he was in Moorfield, he was in Wardensville. He definitely got his little sampler of Hardy County for sure. I think he even said he stopped at the Sheets in Moorfield, which
Yes.
that's where everyone goes after a thing. So I wonder what he got. Did he got the curly fries or the mac and cheese bites?
I don't know. I wish we'd have stayed with him and hung out with him a little more there.
Yeah. But I think we were still busy cleaning up from for a little while. But anyhow, but where was I going with this? But no, so he did come back for worship on Sunday, and at one point he said in church, there's a cross in the back of the stage, and he just said, I'm not worthy to be on the same stage as the cross. And I just thought that was, I get that comes from a humble place. And yes, I feel like, driving out here, I was thinking about the rally and how, we don't want to worship the worship. And I think sometimes that gets very easy to do. Like, the music's great, the vibes are great, the crowd has energy, and like, we're there to worship for the sake of worshiping. And, much like you lay down at the youth rally, like, that is not what we're here to do. Like, it is all about giving our worship and our praise to Jesus. It's to never take our eyes off the cross. But as I was telling you, Eric, I thought what was interesting is, here Seth is trying to get everyone to see Jesus through him, right? But then scripture tells us that, like, God looks through the blood of Jesus. He looks through that cleansing to see us.
Yeah.
And so I just think it's this really cool sort of transparent thing that, he wants people to look through him, and God is looking through Jesus, right? So it's like, I don't know, a two-way mirror maybe?
Yeah, I like at the youth rally, I liked how Seth set up. He texted me a couple days before and just was like, hey man, do you have a large cross? I have this idea. And I'm like, yeah, sure. We can find that. So anyways, what he did, listeners, is he brought the cross out to the middle of the stage and sat it down. And then he had the entire group of people who wanted to get up there and encircle this cross, semicircle around this cross, and just to look at the cross and to worship as he sang, I don't know, was 10 songs or something?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
and they weren't any of his songs, which I thought was funny. I actually asked him, and he's like, yeah, I don't like to sing my own stuff during worship because I don't want it to be about me. I want it to be about God. So again, humble, man.
Yeah.
Like, you can't get over how humble that is. Because he has powerful songs. But
Yeah.
he doesn't want the message of his song being what people hear. So anyways, as we circle this cross and everybody's worshiping, it becomes a magical moment. There was tears, there was laughter, there was joy, there was just all a range of emotion. You could feel the spirit moving.
Yes.
People on their knees worshiping, people with their hands raised worshiping. It was just mind-blowing, like 10, 15 minutes of just boom, we're in this worship moment. And I love that moment because you could see the sunset behind it,
so
and
beautiful.
it's like God put a picture perfect spot to do it, because that was just perfect.
Yeah.
But that encircling the cross and not being worried, because you weren't looking at Seth.
Yeah, you weren't. No.
Nobody was up there looking at Seth. Everyone was looking at the cross or looking at whatever you were looking at, but you weren't looking at the guy singing the songs. They were coming from behind you.
Yeah, it wasn't about him in that moment at all. At all.
And then there was a little message given after that. I ended up talking, I guess, a little bit.
The understatement of the year, but okay, Eric.
Yeah, we did a little bit of a talk. I don't know what happened, but Eric talked a little. Anyways, I actually got a video of myself, I guess, preaching in that moment. And I didn't even know it at the time, but in the background, there's Seth just playing his guitar, playing music to me, like doing my thing. And I didn't even know it until I watched the video that somebody sent me. I'm like, that's unreal. Like, I was just so in that moment of like what was going on. And DJ, I got to give a shout out to DJ and my friend Katie, who helped put this thing. Well, we all put it on together. From the YOU 304. It was amazing. Everybody worked together so well. There was no egos. There was no like, you take the mic, I take the mic. I mean, DJ and Seth were freestyling on stage at one time with each other. Just there was some dead air, and DJ's like, we can't have this, Eric. Let's get the mic. He's just like, hey, Seth, how's it going? And start talking to him. Like, it's so perfect how that worked. Everything just worked out so well.
Yeah.
And it led to some kids seeing I'll say a side of God they've never seen.
Right. Absolutely.
Because some of these kids have been in church a long time, and they were moved with the Spirit that night. I know one boy, he literally could not stop crying.
Yeah.
And he got prayed over by everybody in that in the place. Like, I know Rob was there. Rob Reynolds was there. He prayed with him. Mm-hmm. And the coolest moment with the prayers and everything, like, Seth got talked to by everybody.
Right.
And that's the thing. He was so humble. He was talking to everybody. But these group of kids were like talking to him. He's like, hey, let's go pray. And he said, Eric, I'll be in the green room with these guys. And he took them behind stage to go pray with them.
Wow.
So they got to see a side of God that, like, you don't get a lot of places. It's that worship and that impactful move of the Spirit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I think, if we're looking for, I know it's Katie's vision that YOU is a youth-led, thing. And if those were sort of like, similar to the 12 apostles, like if those kids that were there were the ones that got the anointing to then, okay, we're going to go out and ignite this whole county on fire. I mean, I can't wait to see what they do because, they got to see something really special that night for sure.
And then a bunch of them the next morning at church. Like, again, it was another one of those moments where Seth was in the background. He was good. He did everything he did was really good. But Pastor Sparky put down a message that morning that if those kids catch what he was saying, it can change their lives.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like the thing that struck out to me is, he's talking about like, going and, finding this hurting world and showing them the love of God, which, we talk about that all the time in the podcast and all this, but like, he's talking about how, Jesus said, I will make you fishers of men. And he's like, sometimes you got to get in that muddy water and you got to get dirty. You got to get through some thorn bushes. And he was just on fire. And then at one point, it's just like a lightning bolt when he would just said, go find the fish. And it was wham, it just hit you in the heart. And I'm like, message received, like, got it. And
I thought it was kind of cool. Like, you think of somebody like Seth, he's just a human. And he was taking notes on his phone. And Chris is like, am I going long or something? He's like, no, I'm taking notes, brother. Like, keep going.
Yeah, I really do. Like, I hope that he was taking notes on the fish thing. And I want a song called Go Find the Fish. I don't know, but maybe then we could have a podcast sponsored by Goldfish Crackers.
There you go. A little healthier snack, man.
I'm always email snacking as I'm doing that right now, as a matter of fact. But yeah, the worship the next day was amazing. So do we have time to read our verse?
Yeah. We were, well, the reason we picked this too is when we did Seth's episode, he didn't actually have his life verse. He had what he wanted to say.
Yeah.
But he didn't have the actual numbers and all that stuff from which book. And so we looked it up and, that's what we do.
Yeah. It was so cool, the three of us and Kipton all being here in Big Blue together. Like, it felt like any old day on the podcast. So we were just so appreciate that he, we appreciate his humility and just the way he interacted with all of us. Like he'd known us his whole life. Like, it was just so incredible. And, but then ironically, as humble as he comes off, like, he still says he prays that pride is not, he struggles with pride. And, I get it. Like, when you have thousands of followers, like, it's hard to not kind of let pride get in the way sometimes. I mean, I think we all have problems with pride. But anyway, he mentioned kind of what the crux of sort of the verse that always stands in his head is God have mercy on me, a sinner. And so that is from Luke 18, verses 9 through 14. So I'm just going to read that real quick, unless you want to read it, Eric.
I'll allow you.
Thank you so much. All right, this is the parable of the Pharisee and the tax collector. Now, we all know how this is already going to go, because when Eric, in any of the New Testament, has a Pharisee ever been applauded for how great they are? So
The closest we got was Nicodemus.
pretty much, yes. So here comes another tongue lashing from the Lord Jesus. Anyway, here we go. To some who were confident of their own righteousness and looked down on everyone else. So let's just stop there. They were confident of their own righteousness and looked down on everyone. Jesus, being Jesus, told them this parable. He said, 2 men went up to the temple to pray, one a Pharisee and the other a tax collector. The Pharisee stood by himself and prayed, God, I thank you that I am not like other people, robbers, evildoers, adulterers, or even like this tax collector. I fast twice a week and I give 1/10 of all I get. But the tax collector stood at a distance. He would not even look up to heaven, but beat his breast and said, God, have mercy on me, a sinner. I tell you that this man, rather than the other, went home justified before God. For all those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. And what a simple prayer to just, on your worst, God, have mercy on me, a sinner.
Yeah, I mean, I loved it when Seth said it. It was so impactful for me that's his life verse. It's not fancy, it's not well spoken, and it's not like really long thought out thing. It's just, God have mercy on me, a sinner.
Yes.
If that's your life verse, you're pretty good shape right there, probably, because we all need it.
Yes. And I love how this Pharisee even says, like, thankful that I'm not like these other people, robbers, evildoers, or even like this tax collector. He probably said it within the tax collector's earshot. He could probably be like, yeah, that dude's actually saying he's glad he's not like me. But I mean, this is where self-awareness comes in play, obviously. But yeah, we need to all kind of take a look at ourselves sometimes because, I had an opportunity to speak to a woman at the youth rally as well, and you could tell she had lived a very tough life, and was turning her life over to God. And, she'd never met me. She didn't know anything about me. And, and sometimes you got to like test the waters just to see like, what's this person going to say if I tell them about my past or this or that. And I just remember, just kind of saying to her, well, it's not how we start. It's how we finish. And, I just remember in that moment, just hoping that gives her this ability to feel comfortable. Cause, I think Rod Reynolds, when he was talking about like, he was doing his prayer ministries, and then you've got these former convicts and drug addicts, and like they didn't have a church to go to because nobody wanted them in their churches. They were kind of the undesirables, much like in this parable of being the tax collector. But Jesus is a safe place for everybody. It really is it is sometimes the established churches or the religions, as you're saying, Eric, that kind of mess it up. But yeah, this is all about Jesus being like, you know what? It is that heart of humility that God sees. And, for all those who exalt themselves will be humbled. I don't want to be humbled, in the verb sense. I want to be humbled, because being humbled that ain't pretty, Eric.
No. I definitely don't want God to try humbling me, because that's not where it's going to end well.
Yeah, that is going to be full of frustration, embarrassment. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of eating crow at that table with our enemies. Oh, yeah. So, rather than just, come to God with that heart of, have mercy on me, Lord, I'm a sinner. Yeah.
Well, we're getting close to what we allow ourselves for time. Okay. So we just wanted to talk, like I said, we just wanted to come to you with what the youth rally was. And I love that. I think it was the day after DJ and I were talking, and he said, well, if we do it next year, we need to change this, this, and this. It wasn't, well, that was good, we learned a lesson. Like, nope, it's how can we do it better, or what can we do that will make it work better next year? And it's not giving up or anything. It's like, all right, if it's God calls us to do it again, we're going to do it again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can't wait.
And then I'll get Seth to open for a bigger act. I don't know.
I mean, he's going to be the big actor. Are you kidding me? He's going places. I can't, I'm so encouraged by his new music. And, that song that he did, the My Story Matters or Your
Your
Story
Story
Matters.
Matters.
And I just, I expect to see him on those massive summer night worship stages in
That
the
would
near
be
future. Yeah, his lyrics are amazing. And so anyway, but loved having our our lyrical Monday coming from not a playlist song, but from an actual person on our playlist. So that was really kind of cool. I loved it.
Yeah. And to get where the songs came from
Yeah.
that I've talked about on this show is so good. Like that meant a lot to me to hear where, those couple songs came from. Yeah. If you haven't, as soon as it comes out, I'm pretty sure I'll have a Lyrical Monday with, Your Story Matters.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get a chance to see him, go see him. He is an amazing dude. He's humble. And I suggest you just add him on everything and start listening to him so his plays get loud enough that everybody goes, hey, who's this guy?
Yep.
But-
And his biggest songs right now are Proof and I Know My Name.
Yeah.
And those are two of the really good ones that you'll find on Spotify that we've talked about before on Lyrical Monday.
And he's on a couple songs that he collabs with a couple other people. And the one that Ben really likes is I've never seen God's Eyes, but I've seen the Devil's.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's called God's Eyes, but
Yeah.
it's talk about a song. Now it's got some lyrics in that song that really make you think. But yeah, that's the premise of it. I've never seen God's Eyes, but I've seen the Devil's. So pretty powerful message there too. But yeah, Seth is actually on that song with a couple other pretty good sized Christian artists. So
Nice.
and it's kind of funny. We were talking to him and we were talking about Brandon Lake, and he said, "Yeah, that's my man crush right now." I said, "He's everybody's man crush."
I mean, right? He is.
I mean, I've got non-Christian people in my life, and they're like, "Yeah, the long-haired, good guy, looking guy with the tattoos and sings." I'm like, "Yeah, he sings the Jelly Roll. Yeah, that guy."
Yeah. He's one for the masses.
Yeah. He's more big shot than Seth, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure I'll take Seth over him in a one-on-one right now.
I mean, I would just like them both to come to Big Blue and hang out with us. Let's do that.
That would be a fun night, wouldn't it?
That would be a fun. I mean, I think we need to play Uno No Mercy.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that could be a fun game with those guys.
it really would.
All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow.
All right, bye.